I think it might be number one. Let's have a look.
Is that 250?
Yes, it is.
There it is.
There, can you read the name?
Yeah. Oh, put my glasses on. Totally gonna sell you. Oh, that's very good, number one.
The thing that gets me the most excited about it is that when I think back, it's like I've never really, when you say understand it, I've never really understood money. It's like you look at money in its basic form and it's like, all these things, art, money, commerce, they're all ethereal. And it's like, there's not really, it's like it has, it relies not on notebooks or on pieces of paper or on, things.
Belief.
Yeah, belief and trust.
And the Latin for he believes is credit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, credit.
So explain the scheme that you've come up with.
Yeah, so I took these things, they're A4, and I just covered them in dots, kind of messy. In the very beginning of my spot painting career, I made some messy spots, and I hated them, and then I perfected them into perfect dots, and then for 25 years I made perfect dots. And at the very end, I went back to the first ones, I made like 2 or 3, and I thought, I'm just going to make these messy ones again, and it's like, I really like them, and I did little tests on paper. And then when I looked at them, I thought, they're kind of unique, but they all look the same. They're actually unique. They're handmade, so they're not a print, but they look like a print. And then I thought, what if I made these and then treated it like money or something? And I thought, if I made more than 500, what if I made like 1,000 or 5,000? And then we looked at it and we realised that 5,000 wasn't enough. We have to make 10,000 in order to have enough to kind of move around in that way. These works start with a handmade piece of paper where I have a watermark in it of my head, side view from a sculpture I made called The Collector, self-portrait as The Collector, where I'm in a pose of Henry VIII. Then it's got a hologram on it. It has my signature. Everyone has a different title, handwritten in pencil with a number and a microdot on the bottom edge here on the right. And there's bleeding on the edges. With the dots, no two colours are exactly the same, so every colour's different. And they're all placed randomly until the whole surface area is filled with a lot of different bleed through as well of the paper. We chose paper where the colours would bleed through from the back. Maybe I should just say roughly what I'm doing. You apply first of all, we have a week of sort of application process. And if that's oversubscribed, we would go through it and then we'll try and work out, to be sort of democratically to spread things out as much as possible so people don't hoard them and that, they've got ways to do that. And then you get issued with an NFT. All the people who are successful get an NFT. So the first thing is an NFT. And then after, I can't remember, we haven't worked out the timings exactly, you then can redeem your NFT for an actual artwork. And if you do that, the NFT will be destroyed. And then at the end of about a year or something, all the NFTs that aren't redeemed will exist and will destroy the artworks. And we'll do that like publicly. It's when I let go, it comes to life. Yeah. And it's like, that's,
It's out of your control.
Yeah, but when you think of it as an artwork, that's what's kind of crazy about it. It's like the whole thing is the artwork, and it's like, it's almost like the behaviour of the human beings that are all involved in it. It just will have a life of its own. And I can feel the confines of my beliefs. So for me, it's like, I shouldn't, as an artist, have a problem with, it should be an equal problem to burn an NFT or to burn a piece of paper. But I have a much harder problem burning the paper than I do the NFTs, and that exposes something in me, which is kind of bad. And I think, as the creator of this, I kind of look at the scenarios and I go, well, what if, all the NFTs are burnt and then they keep the paper? I'm back where I started in the art world. And then I go, well, no, what if 10% are NFTs and 90% are paper? I go, yeah, that's cool. And then I go, but what if 90% are NFTs and there's only 10% paper? And I go, oh yeah, shit, I've got to burn 90% of the artworks. And I go, okay, I can do that, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And I think I have to, but then that's my problems. And then I go, well, what if 100% of the art's burnt and it's all NFTs? And I'm like, oh my God.
You can't control it.
The whole project really is like an experiment, and it's just like an experiment in belief.